Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy April 1st. um, April Fools. Hopefully, no one's playing any pranks on you today. I wanted to talk about dreams. I made a post yesterday with a quote from Soulcraft. So, Soulcraft was a book we were reading. Let me get it out of the sunlight. There it is. We were reading this book for the. This is Bo. Everyone say hi to Bo. We were reading Soulcraft for the month of March. I am only halfway through the book, so I will be continuing Soulcraft through April, along with Way of the Happy Woman, which is our book that we chose for April. So I'll be reading 2 books. But Soulcraft is a lot to digest, so I've been taking it slow, highlighting and journaling about the book. But I just finished the chapter on dreamwork, and the premise in Soulcraft is that our dreams is a way for our soul to communicate with us and to deepen our existence, because a lot of times we live from the ego and not from the soul, and so our dreams are a way for our soul to get past the ego, so to speak. Some interesting facts about dreams is that dream researchers have found, and this is from the book Soulcraft, I have it right here, in a neurologically normal person, whatever that means, a neurologically normal person has a dream approximately every 90 minutes when they're in their deep sleep. So throughout the events of the last few weeks with the coronavirus and the quarantine and just all of the fear that comes out of that, my dreams have been extraordinarily, not necessarily bad. Some have been bad, but they have been vivid. My dreams have been vivid. My dreams have been intense. And I have always had I've had a really rich dream world experience, but something has shifted in my dreams, and I've been hearing that from friends too, that during this time, for whatever reason, that our dreams are becoming almost like messengers. And so I thought it was a perfect time to share this information, this wisdom, so that we can all do some dream work. And in addition to exploring our dreams on a personal basis, Mandy, who works with us at Wild Souls Yoga, she is extraordinarily talented at art. And so what we thought is, as we do some work with our dreams personally, that maybe in the upcoming weeks, we could have a virtual dream artwork party online. So let's talk about this today. So let me open Soulcraft here. So Soulcraft. So I really liked the idea that, so first of all, your soul primarily speaks in images, and so this is why dreams can be so odd. Like you dream about things that if you speak them out loud, they don't really make sense. But your soul is trying to speak to you through imagery, because that's the language of the soul. So in the book Soulcraft, and I had never heard this before, and I want to share it with you because it is so profound, and I'm someone who likes to interpret and analyze everything, and that can be trouble when it comes to interpreting our dreams. So a dream is a series of images, but if we try to look at our dream as if we put all of the images on one, so think of your dream as a complex painting, okay? So instead of making it like a storyline, like linear, if we look at all the elements as one piece, and then we can figure out how we feel or what message is trying to be conveyed. And I really liked that imagery, and that's what we'll be doing with Mandy, is picking a dream or maybe a series of dreams after we have time to process them and making a piece of art. So I want to talk about some rules for, and not rules, rules is the wrong word, but some things we can do to tap into the wisdom of our dreams that we're having right now. So the first thing that the book recommends, Soulcraft recommends, is telling your dreams out loud. So when you wake up in the morning and you're like, whoa, that was a weird dream, the process of speaking it aloud to another human or your dog or a houseplant can be invaluable in helping you to remember and archive that information in your brain. So the book recommends that you tell about your dream at least twice and that you talk slowly as if you are reading a prolific poem. So that is the first thing that the book recommends, is tell your dream aloud. The second thing is to journal about your dream. After you speak the dream aloud, you are putting your dream into language, which if you have weird dreams, if you have vivid dreams, if you have strange dreams, can be challenging to put the imagery into language, right? Because sometimes they don't align, because our dreams are just so out of the ordinary that our language fails to give true meaning and context to our dream. So after you speak the dream aloud to at least twice, to a person, to a houseplant, to a pet, to yourself in the mirror, then you're going to journal about it. And I, throughout this crazy time in our world, I have been coming back to my journal time and time and time again. I've been using my journal so much more than I ever did, and I've been delving into the practice of journaling for quite some time, but I can't even tell you how powerful journal work can be. So after you tell your dream aloud, you're going to write about your dream in your journal. And don't worry about getting caught up in self-judgment, or that doesn't make sense, or I hope nobody reads this. Don't worry about that stuff. Just get it out on paper. And then back to what the book says, imagine a dream as a single image, like a complex painting. Give the dream a chance to do its work on you by dwelling in its images and feelings as long as you can. Let me read that again from the book Soulcraft. So after you imagine your dream as, instead of a linear movie, imagine it as a single complex image, like a painting. Give the dream a chance to do its work on you by dwelling in its images and feelings as long as you can. So you're trying to not intellectualize the dream. You are trying to dwell in the images and feelings that you get from the dream as long as possible. And that's an important thing to journal about as well. Some other key components. Avoid understanding your dream in a way that flatters the ego. Let me read that again. Avoid understanding your dream in a way that flatters the ego. So why? Well, what is the reasoning behind that? The book relates this to, let me see if I can find, here it is on page 140 of Soulcraft. So Jungian analyst Robert Johnson recommends that we avoid understanding our dreams in a way that flatters the ego. The dream maker, i.e. the soul, wants to help the ego mature and transform, which, as we have seen, often begins with the ego dying to its current worldview. The dream maker, the soul, is not interested in congratulating the ego, but rather in suggesting where it might be limited, wrong, confused, mistaken. That is, where it has opportunities for initiation into a larger story, a larger life. James Hillman takes this point one step further. He says, in every dream, the ego is just plain wrong, mistaken about something in the dream world, and maybe many things. The ego, after all, is a visitor from the day world, and everything else in the dream is a night world citizen, even if some dream characters are disguised in the day world appearance of our spouse, parents, or the woman dressed in red at last night's party. The ego gets confused in the night world and misled when it tries to understand things in day world terms and logic. So what is that saying? What does that mean? Of course, I would like you to interpret that on your own, but to me, the whole point of Soulcraft, the meaning of Soulcraft, the work of the Soulcraft book is soul initiation, soul contact, soul connection. the ego likes to be in control, and a lot of times the soul takes a backseat to that, and our dreams are a way for the soul to speak to us and to quiet the ego, um, to override the ego, which that's really challenging work. But when we are open to the process, there's so much wisdom, understanding, um, to be gained. And we're living in times where our world is so weird and unfamiliar, and the ego can panic. The ego can be under extreme pressure and anxiety and not understanding how it's not in control anymore. And so this is the time in our history, in our lives, where we get the opportunity to engage with soul, because that is ultimately who we are. Our soul is limitless, our soul is undying, and so we have this chance right now to connect with that voice, with that energy, with that element of our being. So that is why this dream work is so profound right now. So what are the takeaways from this? Start noticing your dreams. Just start noticing, be open to dreaming. And then when you wake up in the morning, if you were impacted by a dream, speak it aloud twice, 2 times. Journal about your dream, and then sit with that and interpret your dream as a single image, like a complex painting, and notice what images and feelings arise and write those down. And then in the near future, we are planning on hosting a virtual art project led by the beautiful and wonderful Mandy Irons, who will lead us through an exercise to make an image out of a dream that we have journaled about. And because we're all at home and we all have different things in our house, we will be working with mediums such as paint, if you have paint, or markers, or colored pencils, or magazine clippings. We can be really creative with this, and we can make one single image out of a dream that we've been having. So we are really looking forward to doing this work with you. We are on this journey with you. We are navigating these waters, uncharted waters. I'm not liking the word unprecedented times these days, but that's what this is. And so we're on this path with you. We are navigating the uncertainty and the anxiety, and trying to rise above into higher vibrations, one breath at a time, one moment at a time. So would love to hear your thoughts, your feedback. Would love to get your interest on doing this art project with us and doing this dream work with us. So please comment, please message us. We'd love to hear from you. Say goodbye to Bo. Bo, say goodbye, and we will be seeing you soon here on social media, because that's the way we're connecting these days. So take care, be well. I have been pulling some oracle cards lately, and the messages that I'm getting are to stay healthy and stay grounded, connect with nature, drink your water, eat healthy foods, eat plants, get the wisdom from the plants and the energy from the plants, do your yoga and do your breath work, and journal, and make sure whatever you're putting in your field is for your highest good. So whether that be what you're watching on TV, there's lots of great documentaries out there on your computer or on Netflix or Amazon Prime Video. Read good books. Make sure that you are talking to people that fill you up if you are connecting socially. Make sure that you are just putting all the good stuff in and holding your vibe high. Anyway, so I'll leave you with that today. Stay well. Bye-bye.